Welcome to Matters Financial and Geopolitical from a Frontier. Don't forget, we got Mindspeak coming up, not this Sunday, but the following Sunday, with Professor Howard French. And he's really an expert and a deep diver into the whole China-Africa relationship. And I'm sure that's going to be extremely interesting for all of us. International markets, this is the 10-year German Bund yield, which is in negative territory. Look at that. It's extraordinary. And in that, we see the dislocation that's been extant in the markets for so many years. Currency markets, let's take a look. Euro dollar, 112.07, dollar index 97.473, Japanese yen, 109.64, Swiss franc 10079. The pound continues to fall, 128.20. The Australian dollar, which you know I've been very bearish about, 0.6925. India rupee sits over 70 at 70.2215. South Korean won at 11.9115. Brazilian real has crossed 4. That's an important signal of weakness in emerging markets. Egyptian pound steady, probably the best currency in the world, 1704, and the rand strengthened a little bit more, 14.1929. But we're still in this range. Maybe the top side is 1395, the other side's 1445. We break there, then we should see some very big moves actually. Euro dollar, where are we now? 112.07. I'm a bear on the euro dollar, and I think we're headed to 106 and then 1 and then 91. But I've been saying that for a while, but we're hardly going up, right? But we haven't gone down as fast as I thought we might. Alibaba posted a 51% total revenue gain year on year for the March quarter and continues to outperform its global technology peers. Indeed, what a performance. Another strong quarter of strong user growth with 721 million MAU and 654 million annual active consumers on our China retail marketplaces. Let's move on to the commodity markets. Adam Mancini says the technicals for gold continue to look good despite the dollar holding up and the S&P 500 recovering. Well, 1294.26, I'm not bullish. I think we're going to fail again. But he's targeting 1308 and then 1320. Of course, if war happens with Iran, we'll go through 1308 and 1320, and we'll be around 1400 or something. Crude oil, which is what we've got to keep an eye on, this is now at $62.65 in New York. And I think we're going up to 69, as Adam thinks as well, given the geopolitical uncertainty that we're looking at now. Agriculture is in a tough situation. It's not just trade. We have a glut of commodities. I think we are, that's ag, looking at low prices for the next 2 to 3 years. On April 1st, the price of Mexican Hass avocados rose by a third, the biggest one-day price rise in almost a decade, says The Economist. Look at the chart they put out and you can see that the demand has gone off the scale, but the supply has not kept up. And I think that's a classic case of what I call the crypto avocado millennial economy, where you get such an enormous surge of demand because of society latching on to something in a sort of Virilian and Gladwellian way. The zeitgeist of a time is its defining spirit or its mood. Capturing the zeitgeist of the now is not an easy thing because we're living in a dizzyingly fluid moment. Whether it's President Trump's rat-a-tat tweets, I was writing about it then, and the long blockchain corporation, which was previously the Long Island iced tea company and then suddenly surged sixfold because of a name change. And I said, we're living in extraordinary, fast-moving times. And then I quoted Virilio, wealth is the hidden side of speed, and speed the hidden side of wealth. Brazilian real, this is from RV Analysis, has crossed 4. I remember the real was a basket case once upon a time, and then it rallied all the way, I think, to 3. But if we're crossing 4 now, that's not looking good, and I think we go to 440 quite quickly. Fear of election bolt from the blue has India markets worried. Investors in India are bracing for an extreme event risk next week. Narendra Modi failing to retain power. That would be a turn up for the books. Optimistic tone for the nation's assets has fizzled out as the trade impasse combines with concern about Modi's ability to repeat his landslide 2014 victory amid a resurgent opposition, farm distress and a job crisis. The currency has fallen 1.6% to 70.34, and here they're speculating it could fall sharply to 75 if it was an indecisive situation. I've got a very good friend who's from India, and he says, look, they're running it over 6 weeks. It allows him to campaign on a rolling basis, and he can't really see him getting beaten, nor can I.